We're glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. So when the blockchain resolution passed in May, you said, today the industry committee voted unequivocally in favor of a forward-looking technology that we expect to change the quality of our life, empower SMEs, and improve business models in most industrial sectors. Blockchain is a cutting-edge technology, and we aspire to make the EU the global leader in the era of the fourth industrial revolution. Very inspirational, and you're clearly a big believer and passionate in the technology. So why is it that you think that the blockchain technology is so important?
Well, first of all, congratulations for organizing these events. I think it's really important to go beyond the hype that took over a year ago and be able to understand the real value of the technology. And this was what we tried to achieve in the European Parliament. So I started working basically almost 4 years ago, 3.5. I was elected as a Greek representative. So after the crisis, I realized that there was too much control of the central banks to our deposits. And I thought that we should find a solution there. So I was exploring a bit what could that be. And I saw the discussion that seemed a bit crazy about like Bitcoin and without any control of the banking sector. So I saw that besides the philosophy of that, there was actually a technology that could help us find new solutions. So I asked the Parliament to have, first of all, the virtual currency report, that it tried to give some definitions. And then the blockchain resolution took me basically 3 years to move them, to even have an event in the Parliament. It was not easy, because the first thing you would say is like, it's like the technology behind Bitcoin, and you would have to explain that you're not working for CIA or for a terrorist group of people. So after that, I managed to get the resolution and also talk one-to-one to all my colleagues that participated to explain any concern they had. I had to address that. So I had to follow events like this one to understand the technology and to be sure that they can actually not stop innovation, but in the opposite, to make sure that we will have a roadmap to support this exciting technology. So I think the resolution managed to be a very positive one. So following the EBA and ESMA report recently, I think that was really more defensive. They were both more defensive. I think we managed to show that we're open-minded, and it was the first political body, I think, that big at least, because there are some countries that have managed to move very fast, that had this approach. And I think that after our resolution, we also had United States saying that, okay, not everything is a security. Maybe it's a technology that we have to find new definitions for that. So this is what was the spirit of this resolution.
Thank you for that. And can tell us even more about the resolution and what your vision is for Europe's regulation of blockchain technology.
So in this resolution, as I said, first of all, we saw that we're very positive to the potential of this technology. And to achieve that, we call for legal certainty. So basically, we call for all the bodies of Europe and the Commission to work towards the direction of standardization, to provide legal certainty for smart contracts. And thank God it happened during this time that we are trying to have digital signature accepted. So we do have smart contracts happening, and at the same time, we gave a lot of funding to achieve that. So if you see now the MFF, the multi-financial framework for the next 7 to 8 years, you will see that we have achieved, because I'm working in several files. The resolution was just the roadmap. We have also blockchain, and it's eligible for funding, anything that it has infrastructure on blockchain. And the money we'll give for digital infrastructure is up to 9.2 billion. For blockchain specifically, we have special pilots up to 700 million. And I think the Connect EU facility is around 300 million. So basically, we're giving money to take the risk, explore how this technology can help us. And the Commission, so intra-institutional, inside the institutions, we try to find solutions for certification, identity, voting, to remove bureaucracy. So we try to explore the technology at its core and supply chains, in everything. And since by its nature, it doesn't recognize borders, it's unstoppable actually. We try to use it to connect Europe. As you know, until recently we had roaming fees, we had geo-blocking, and now we're trying to remove these barriers. And I think this technology could also help us do that. So in the meantime, we are trying to give the people the impression and the understanding that it's a technology that could be used for good. So there is, I think, time left until this summer. You can apply for 5 awards that we're giving for blockchain for good. So for social good, if you achieve that with your application, it's 5 million for 5 ideas. And I think the resolution showed and highlighted that we want to move very fast. But the nature of, the structure of the European Union, if you compare it to US, it has more barriers than expected. But still, we're trying to use this technology to remove these barriers.
And what do you see as the next steps with the European Commission or other bodies to put together a legal framework or to provide that certainty that you were talking about?
It's going to be like ICANN for internet. It's going to be the same structure for blockchain. I think only by having this target, this aim, it's amazing. We launched it in November. Let's say Blockchain Association, so I leave that. The Blockchain Association, so this means we try to support, bring together all the industry, stakeholders, experts, academia, maybe some politicians, not many, to work together and work out ways and provide legal certainty very fast to this new technology and the ecosystem that we need to build, great solutions. Standardization, interoperability, the ones that I mentioned. So this was launched, and we expect that by the end of this month to have more specific guidelines for that and the framework for that. It's the Blockchain Observatory actually expanding into something bigger, and we will try to have it be an independent organization. I think that this is an excellent opportunity for everybody to not just to participate, but to follow. Even with a newsletter, you can see what's happening because it's monitoring everything in different member states. The same time, I worked on the file of artificial intelligence. And I think since most of the good ideas come with automation of smart contracts using blockchain, where AI is, for me, it's automation mainly. So when you have AI and blockchain together, we have even more funding. And I think all the sectors of our life will be transformed using these technologies, but we just need to have, protect investors, give legal certainty to the industry. Because since you're all experts here, usually, okay, if I may ask, how many of you have e-wallets and like a currency, digital currency? Yeah, okay. In Brussels, it's like 2 usually in the audience. So if you have that, then you understand that legal certainty is really connected to the price volatility is connected to the legal certainty. So when you have weird announcements about Bitcoin or Ripple or how companies can implement that, or like if China says we will stop mining here, then you see the price volatility. It's quite insane, I would say. So if we give them legal certainty, I think then we can forget about the prices and move into the actual value of the technology. And I do believe that this will happen. By the end of the year, we will start to having interesting applications. It's already, I think, since the hype left, now we have the real value of the technology. funny thing is that in some cases I see the hype of the cool world blockchain is used even where there is no blockchain, parties of blockchain. Or I go to exhibitions and they say face recognition and blockchain, and they said, okay, how do you use blockchain? And they said, we don't, but we want to use it.